So anyway, there's something we can talk about on the podcast because I just recently saw the most ambitious crossover event of all time, where Nicolas Cage and John Travolta star in a movie for the first time called Face Off.
I was so waiting for that. Oh man, I've never seen Face Off. How was it?
The best parts are the memes, like the bit where I'll send you the bit, but it's where Nick Cage is dressed up as a priest in Face Off, and then he goes Hallelujah,
Man,
and it is the greatest sin of all time. I'll send it to you, and then you can send it to whoever else might be interested in it.
whoever is potentially in the podcast with us right now,
Yeah.
maybe, possibly. Hello.
But that's completely ridiculous. But there's the Hallelujah scene, and then he's like dressed up as a priest because he's planting a bomb in the New LA Convention Center, and then there's a choir singing Handel's Hallelujah, and then Cage just headbangs to Hallelujah, and then he goes over to one of the members of the choir and grabs her ass and goes, and it's wonderful.
I'm so excited to watch this movie now. I'm so glad it's on fucking Netflix. It's gonna be great.
The overacting bits where Nicolas Cage and John Travolta just go nuts.
Because they're trying to out-ham each other. They know.
Yeah, that is what makes the movie worth watching. Plus, the director is a Hong Kong action director called John Woo, and let's just say he's not exactly known for his subtlety in directorial choices. For example, the finale of the film... Yes, it does.
Yeah.
The finale of the film starts out in a funeral of one of the characters, and of course it's a Catholic church where the funeral is taking place. So in this Catholic church where the funeral is taking place, John Travolta walks in behind while Nicolas Cage, who is John Travolta's character, and of course John Travolta, who is Nicolas Cage's character, because their faces swapped. So Nicolas Cage, as John Travolta, is looking at a Christ crucified figurine, and then when that's happening, John Travolta walks in from behind, framed by a portrait of the Virgin Mary, and then doves are flying around in front of him.
Symbolism.
And then he mimes, being hung up on the cross like Jesus. So
whenever I look at Nicolas Cage, I think of the Xavier.
Not exactly known for the subtlety in terms of directing choices.
So I have to ask.
And the action scenes are hilariously over the top.
I was just about to get to that. Yeah.
It's got that like 90s thing where bullets are just... It's got like the 80s thing where bullets are just flying everywhere all the time and nobody gets hit.
Oh,
but
I love that.
Got the 90s, but it's also got the 90s thing of like really, really quick cuts and fast camera work.
So
and
it's
then
just like everything
got, like,
is so hectic you can't even tell what's happening.
And then debris just flies everywhere and there's so many sparks.
That's the best thing about pre-CGI action movies is that they had to do all kinds of on-set pyrotechnics. And sometimes they went like way too overboard with it, so everything is just shooting sparks and debris and dust to the point that like the actors are like having a hard time doing the scene because they're coughing on all of the garbage polluting the air from the explosions. I want to see Face Off. Would you recommend it? Is it a
It's I wouldn't say it's a so bad it's good movie, and I wouldn't say it's a so good it's good movie. It kind of...
It's in that weird realm where it's like...
We're at the middle ground, where you feel that it wasn't made entirely seriously, and there's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek nature to it. But it's not entirely supposed to be taken comedically.
So the whole thing just ends up being this weird, like...
It's good. The movie is good.
You've seen it?
The worst elements of the movie...
Yeah, it's like forever ago, Xavier. I mean, I was just waiting for a chance to...
Oh, you're waiting for me to shut the fuck up so you could talk?
No! Like, I've seen the movie when I was like, I don't know, in high school.
Okay, so when I was in middle school?
Yeah.
How old was I when you were 15?
I don't know. 11.
I was
10.
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11.
But
you were watching.
One of the things that I like noticed in the movie, like the chase scene in I don't know if you noticed this, David, but the chase scene in the water.
The speedboats.
Yeah. You can see that the characters, like the characters of John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, you can see that they are doubles. Like you can really see.
That reminds me of this thing lately where Bruce Willis didn't want to be on set for certain shots in a movie he was doing. So they used a stand-in actor who was a black guy. So every time it cuts to the reverse angle, the back of Bruce Willis's head is the back of a black guy's head, and then it cuts to the front of him, and you're like, what the fuck? Hold on, I have to go find that on Twitter now so I can show you guys. That is the best.
Is fun. I would say it's worth it for Nick Cage alone, and John Travolta overacting as well is just kind of a
supporting.
It's an icing on the cake.
Yeah.
I have to find this picture of this thing because this is a real thing that happened.
Well, are you serious?
They're just like, well, all bald people look the same.
I'm gonna take his face off.
That was so perfect. Hey, the best part is that because you guys are on the same audio track, we won't even have to sync that.
I'm gonna take his face off. It's so great.
Yeah. Are you serious, Xavier? You haven't seen Face Off?
I haven't seen Face Off.
Are you damn serious? Really? What?
It wasn't on Netflix until recently, and I've been busy.
No.
And you call yourself a Nicolas Cage fan.
Oh, jeez. That's one of his best movies of all time.
Yes.
I mean, for me. Yeah, David. Okay.
It's a really fun movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you were right. It has a lot of those like 90s action scene, but it's a good movie.
It's so 90s.
Yeah.
And like John Travolta has a daughter who's all like kind of punk in that sort of really cheesy 90s way.
Yeah.
Where she has like really bad makeup and just dumb wardrobe.
And she's all rebellious.
Yeah. Because John Travolta is a shitty father. Who would have guessed?
He's like the Liam Neeson of dads.
No, I disagree.
That John Travolta is a bad father?
In the movie?
I mean, just in general.
I don't know.
Because he's like a weird cultist. Remember Battlefield Earth?
While you were still learning to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
What a good line. Thanks for that read.
Hire me for the inevitable Battlefield Earth remake, Hollywood. I'll do it.
God, I'm trying so hard to find this picture.
I'm
you're
telling
still
you
looking for it.
I would so be there. If one of my goals in life is to win a Razzie.
Oh yeah, and then you could go like you could go and do your acceptance speech like Halle Berry did. Did you know that, Sadie, that Halle Berry won a worst actress award or something, and she actually went up and accepted the award while like super drunk, and was giving a speech about how shitty the movie was that she was in.
I want to thank you for just like showing me that because being on the top sucks.
Yeah, because it was the year after she won an Oscar too.
Bottom. She was super drunk.
It was the best. I remember she was like making fun of everyone.
If she was drunk, why did the people let her walk up the stage? Because of the award?
I mean, yeah, she went up stage to accept the award.
Oh. And no one stopped her? I mean, while
Nope.
she's give. Oh, that's.
She just gave her speech.
Well, no one goes and does acceptance speeches at that awards show, so everyone was just like, "Shit, this is kind of funny. Let's just see what she says."
She was one of the first who actually did it.
I think a lot of people started doing it after her, though.
So it was her, and then it was like
Eddie Redmayne.
There's only a few people who have accepted it. Sandra Bullock was another one.
Oh wow, what'd she win for?
Some dumb romantic comedy. In the mid 2000s.
She's been in a lot of those.
People who have accepted Razzies: Bill Cosby.
Oh no.
Paul Verhoeven.
Hey, wait, what?
Tom Green.
Tom Green would love a Razzie.
He won 5 Razzies and he accepted them all.
Oh, that's the best. Tom Green is so
actor,
cool.
Worst director, worst picture, worst screen couple, and worst screenplay for Freddy Got Fingered.
Freddy Got Fingered is a masterpiece of a film. Because it is a 2-hour, multi-million-dollar shit.
I don't think I deserve it any more than the rest of you.
Have you seen that movie,
I'd like to say that.
David? You need to.
I don't think that it would be true, though.
What would be true?
He didn't think that anybody else would be worse than him.
Oh.
He had to be dragged off the stage while accepting one of his awards because he would not stop playing the harmonica.
That's the best. That sounds so much like him. Okay, one time Tom Green did this really great special about cancer because he got testicular cancer, and he's like, I'm gonna make a giant joke out of this. So he did like he had like an actual like an oncologist, like a really professional one, come on his show and like talk about it, and he's just cracking jokes at this guy this whole time while he's trying to like be really serious about the effects of testicular cancer on the male anatomy, and he's just like just destroying himself with jokes about it, and like he even like starts talking about like before he goes into his surgery, he's like, I can't wait to have one ball, and like he really
so people who have
just
accepted the award
it.
Tom Green, Ben Affleck, because he was nominated for 3 Razzies in 1 year.
Is it for Daredevil?
Geely, Daredevil, and Paycheck.
Well, that was a rough year for Ben Affleck.
And then Halle Berry accepted hers, and Sandra Bullock accepted hers for All About Steve. The guy who directed who directed Battlefield Earth accepted it.
Was that guy like a weird Scientologist, or was he just like a guy looking for a paycheck?
He's just a filmmaker.
Oh, so it was like the actor.
No, he was the writer of it. The writer accepted it.
Oh.
And then the guy who starred in 50 Shades of Grey, the guy, Mr. Grey, accepted it too.
Mr. Bondage Man.
And of course, Dinesh D'Souza accepted it. He accepted 3 awards for Hillary's America, which is worst picture, worst actor, and worst director. Which is not enough because Dinesh D'Souza deserves all the Razzies for Hillary's America because Hillary's America is the worst movie that I've ever seen, and I'm not better for that.
I remember you came out of that movie so mad. You had to like go on like a huge rant about it and like message me for several hours about how much that movie like aged you prematurely.
I might have told this story on a podcast already, but I'm bitter, so I'm going to do it again. Okay, so Hillary's America. It came out in 2016 during the presidential election, which, as we all know, was a huge fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And so I was going on a college trip to visit colleges with my mom. And because we had just visited a college, we got back to the hotel, and because we didn't want to go literally insane in the hotel room, we thought, okay, let's go and see a movie. We'd seen everything by that point. Star Trek Beyond, Suicide Squad, all the Bourne Legacy, or Jason Bourne, the new one. And those all 3 are bad.
Yeah.
But they were tolerable compared to Hillary's America. So I was going like, okay, look, here's the movies that are on the list. Like, we could see Suicide Squad again, we could see this, we could see romantic comedy. Oh, Hillary's America. And then I was like, Hillary's America?
What's that?
Ooh, let's go and see that. I was like, no, I don't want to see it. And then she dragged me to it, and I was just so bitter, even before I saw the movie, because I just didn't want to see it, because I just didn't care. A lot of people hate Hillary Clinton. I'm just tired of hearing that she exists, and that's why I didn't want to see the movie.
And then the whole movie is just 2 hours of complaining.
Boy, was I surprised by that movie, because it was so much worse than I could have ever imagined it to be. It is not actually about Hillary Clinton, except for the last 15 minutes. The rest of it is a play-by-play account of the history of the Democratic Party, which basically says that, okay, so because Democrats in the past owned slaves, supported slavery, were racist, sexist, hated Native Americans, supported eugenics, all
Obviously, they're all currently those things.
Obviously, they are all currently for that.
Makes perfect sense. Dinesh. That guy's first name is dumb.
He's Indian, so
I stand by it.
D'Souza. And, like, I'm not going to debate the historicity of this argument. And a lot of people smarter than me with actual history degrees have debated the historicity. And there's a lot of flawed, bad historical arguments that don't make any sense and have ignored history for the most part. Like, for example, they say that the great swap of the Republican and Democratic parties in terms of political ideologies didn't happen simply because nobody switched sides. It's a switch of ideologies. It's not a literal switch of people. So that's completely missing the point. But besides that,
to me is like such a bizarre thing that could possibly happen. Like, could you imagine us doing that today, where everyone who identifies as a Democrat and everyone who identifies as a conservative, or like a Republican, just said, all right, I'm just gonna be on the other side now. Like, they just they all just switched.
It's the voter bases that switched. It's not the actual politicians.
Okay.
So they're completely missing the point. But ignoring that historical arguments, except for the quick example that I just brought up, the main thing that I hated about that movie is that it's just so angry and just vitriolic. It's just like such bitterness against these people who like also exist in your country, and that just felt awful and mean-spirited. Plus, it's also completely insane because Dinesh D'Souza starts out his documentary by saying, well, documentary in quotes, but he starts out his documentary by saying that he was put in prison because he made Obama's America, and therefore he was targeted by them. Truth is, he was arrested for illegal campaign contributions.
Oh.
Where he gave too much money to a politician. And he accepted that he did that, and he said he was sorry, and he didn't even go to prison. He went to like a
So he just like prefaces the whole documentary by just lying about what happened to sound cooler.
Exactly.
It's like that episode of Santa Clarita Diet where the guy goes to like a convention for nerds that are like conspiracy theorists, and then he has his friend pretend to be an FBI agent and like haul him off while talking about how he knows too much so that he can impress everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Sadie, we watched that show.
Yeah.
Have you zoned out entirely during this political discussion?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay.
You know, I don't talk about politics. You know that.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just ranting about. I'm not ranting about the actual political positions because
Yeah, I know. It's just that I don't have anything to say because.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've just been here, for like 4 or 5 years. I was born here, but I grew up in the Philippines, so I don't really know anything about politics, so I can't say much.
Oh boy, what blissful ignorance.
Talk about Filipino politics. What's going on over there? Is the food good?
No, I don't know. It's
worse. Yeah, Rodrigo
but...
Duterte is a great guy. What are you talking about?
I don't know any of these things.
You know the Philippine president, David.
I know who he is. I've read some stuff about him, not a ton.
He's actually very controversial right now because he's ever since he won the presidency, he some people are like bashing him because he's very firm about fighting drugs in the Philippines because really taking over the country. So a lot of people.
Yeah, I've read a lot of criticism of the drug policy.
Yeah, and he's also very very outspoken about the things that he believes in. Like he doesn't care. He would actually, during an interview, he would curse or he would cuss, and he doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's like you have your own, like, well, I mean, pretty much what we got.
They're actually friends. They like each other.
Ah, of course they do.
Of course they do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They're not very, yeah. But enough about politics.
But enough about me.
International politics.
What's...
I watched another one of the biggest crossover events of 2018. It was where
Jim Halpert and the lady who should have played Captain Marvel spend the whole movie not talking.
No. It's Jim Halpert and the second Mary Poppins. Because she's going to play Mary Poppins.
She should have played Captain Marvel.
I agree, but she's playing Mary Poppins.
Why do we need another Mary Poppins movie? Like, why?
Just guess.
Just cuz?
Yeah, just guess.
The dollars.
Just because.
Alright. Is it gonna have CGI animals this time instead of 2D animated ones?
Yeah. So.
Wait, really? Are you fucking kidding me? I was making a joke!
I don't know, actually.
Man, it would suck if they were like Pixar animated, like they're supposed to not look real, and then it's just like, well, what's even the point?
Well,
because CGI is meant to like be like hyper realism.
It's from the, Mary Poppins and Jim Halpert starred in the biggest crossover event of 2018, which is A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? Because you and I both saw it.
Okay, so I was really depressed the other day because my dad was having surgery on his intestines, and I needed something to do after work because I got off like way early because the event I was working was canceled. So I was just like driving, and I just went to the movie theater that you and I usually go to, which is like 3 hours from your house. And I
only go to that when I'm seeing a movie with you. Otherwise, I see it at a movie theater that's 5 minutes away from me.
Yeah, and so I went over there, and I for the first time ever in my entire life saw a movie by myself, which I always kind of judged as this really depressing experience, but it actually was kind of nice.
Why? It's not.
I do that. I do that before. I do that all the time.
Yeah. Me too. I did that like a couple of times. Like if I wanted to see a movie and no one wants to go with me or no one wants to come with me, I'd go alone.
I use it as an excuse to get away from everybody else for like 2 hours.
That's kind of what my justification was, is because like, well, I'm not going to know what's going on with my dad's surgery for like several hours, and
it's an opportunity to not think for 2 hours.
Yeah, and
there you go.
I was talking with Dane about it, and he was like, you went to go see it like a movie about violence, gore, high tension, and like depressing post-apocalypses to cheer yourself up. And I was like, yeah.
Okay, so
he's like, that's so you.
Okay, so about that movie, I've seen. I did not look away through Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2 and Brain Dead.
Yeah, I've shown you some gory stuff.
But I had to look away when it came to that scene with the nail.
Oh, that sucked. That wasn't even... I didn't look away. That wasn't even that gory, but just, like, the concept of that was really...
Yeah, like, gore itself isn't what bugs me, but it just hits a little bit too close to home.
You know, there's certain types of gore that are more tame, where it's, like, harder to... Okay, like, a good example of this is in, District 9, when Charlton Copley has to pull his fingernails out because they're like falling off. That made me cringe so bad. You get a scene in like Brain Dead where a guy punches his hand through a whole other person's head and is using their head as like a glove, and it's just like so over the top. It's like funny, and you just like it's not even like processing at that point.
Like Hellraiser, where it's just kind of
there's just a guy with no skin for like 90% of the movie. Yeah, but like there, it's it's just simple enough where it's like that's something that could really happen to you. Where like you're never gonna meet a guy with no skin, or you're never gonna see someone punch their hand through someone else's head. But you could step on a nail sticking out of a floorboard and get stuck to the floor.
Oh my
and
God.
especially when you're like pregnant.
Oh yeah, because
and you've got zombies attacking.
There's monsters attacking, and she's going into labor, and she steps on a nail, and it's like, ow!
Ow!
That was really great. Like I haven't really gotten like a visceral response like that to a movie in a long time.
That scene didn't bother me too much, but I could see why someone else would be like cringing a lot more. I gotta admit though, I was making that face I do where I was like I'm kind of like cringing because like I'm thinking about if that happened to me. So like the corners of my mouth just like retract back, and I'm like, that's bad. That's real
like,
bad.
A nail in the foot always gets you, even if it's in Home Alone.
Home Alone. That one's like that's one of the most mean-spirited traps in that whole movie.
Yeah.
I wish Josh was here so he could shout about how traps are gay.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that a movie directed by Jim from The Office could make you cry? Well, it happened.
I was so sad at the end. I was like pissed off because
Okay, so spoilers.
Okay, all right. Let's just say this is the Quiet Place spoiler cast because we've already kind of spoiled some stuff, and it's been out for like a couple weeks now, and everyone doesn't give a shit because they're watching Infinity War.
Go and see it.
See it.
Okay, so
because it's awesome.
Here's my rant. So before we talk about
it's really, really good.
Before we talk about spoilers, here's my rant. Okay, so A Quiet Place did really well at the box office. It made $50 million opening weekend, and it's like, it's probably gonna hit $300 million at the box office or more.
Damn, what's the budget?
And it was produced at $17 million, so it's a huge success for
That's
Paramount.
that worked out great.
So here's what it shows: studios are making original movies. And they're going to respond to market forces and make more original movies, like Split, like Get Out, like A Quiet Place. If you go and see them,
please go and see them. Please go see movies that don't have like a brand on them.
I have no sympathy for people who complain about the lack of original movies
because they're actively not watching them
for a third time.
Yeah. I'm gonna go see Infinity War 6 times at the theater and then complain about how Hollywood is out of ideas. It's like you're paying for them to not have ideas.
You are the problem.
You're actively funding the lack of ideas.
You are the problem because Hollywood
this theoretical person we're yelling at. You bastard.
This imaginary person.
Fuck you, imaginary. Let's give him a name. His name is Brian.
Yeah, totally an imaginary person.
I don't actually know anyone. Oh, wait. I just remembered I do know someone named Brian. I just made up that name because it goes hand in hand with a joke I made to Sadie the other day.
Also, that's literally the name of my brother.
And he totally is this exact stereotype.
Yes.
So it worked out great.
I thought you said you were coming up with a fictional name and you named my brother.
And he fits perfectly. I forgot your brother existed.
I did too.
Man, your brother sucks.
It doesn't matter. He won't listen to this.
Fuck you, Brian. I want your Mass Effect hoodie, you bastard.
Okay, so my brother said he doesn't like to watch things because they're animated.
I don't.
What?
I don't like animation.
If it has Star Wars in the title, I'll watch it once. But if it's good, I'll watch it twice. What if it's like? What if you just like don't want to go see a movie with Star Wars in the title at the theater? No,
but it's
just
Star
obligated
Wars.
to go. Just like can't even not. Okay, all right.
That's what fandom is.
So
it's voluntary slavery.
Didn't he have like a really bad take that he said once that we made fun of him for like 20 hours?
He said that what was it?
There was something that he said that we thought was so preposterous that we just like couldn't let it go, and we were just like going against it. Like,
oh yeah, no. He said that The Last Jedi was bad because of Mary Sue.
That movie has some problems. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if anything, that was the movie where, like... Yeah, I'm pretty baffled by that. Your brother sucks.
Mm-hmm. So,
you can tell him I said that.
Let's move on. Go and see original movies like A Quiet Place. Maybe don't see Avengers for a third time.
I only saw Avengers once, and it was pretty good because it actually took risks and didn't do exactly what every other Marvel movie did.
But let's talk about.
I'm just saying that because people are going to ask, "What's your opinion of Infinity War?" I think Infinity War was great, and I was happy to be wrong about it because I thought it was going to suck.
Because I got basically shanghaied into watching it because I didn't want to be spoiled. I'm just gonna say fuck you, and I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay, yeah, all right. Anyway.
I think the reason, listening to the both of you, I think the reason why people like, don't watch original movies, because sometimes it lacks the, not the movie itself, but the advertisement. Because Infinity Wars is all over the place.
But A Quiet Place is a little bit harder to hear about.
It was, yeah. But A Quiet Place had very strong word of mouth.
Yeah, everyone was talking about it on social media, but in terms of like advertisements, there was like 3 clips, and that was it.
Yeah, because to be honest, I've only heard this when Xavier told me he's gonna watch it in a theater.
Yeah, because was that yesterday? No, that was Friday.
The other day, yeah. And Infinity Wars is all over the world. To be exaggerate, to be.
I mean, you look up in the sky and someone's like 3D printed a picture of Thanos' face on the moon.
Yeah, because it always goes down to the advertisement of the movie.
Oh, I love that he's in Fortnite now, even though that makes no sense at all to put that character in that.
But hey, it got people in the lobby of my dorm talking about it again.
Talking about Fortnite?
Thanos.
Oh, Thanos.
Because they all played Fortnite in the lobby.
I can't get into online games anymore. Like, my mom really likes them, but I don't know. Like, I really liked Halo, and then Halo turned to garbage, and then was, like, unplayable. And, I'm taking a hardline stance that Halo 5 is bad, and all 2 of the people who like that game are going to be like, man, you're just a hater, and then everyone else will give me a high five. Anyway, that kind of like hurt so bad that I just like didn't want to try any more online games for a while, and like I look at Overwatch and all I see is like something I'm going to get bored with after like 3 weeks, you know? And I kind of feel that way about, like, Fortnite and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I refuse to call it the other dumb name. PUBG. It's stupid.
Yeah. So that's all the fun things that happened. A Quiet Place.
It's a movie where there's 2 scenes where people verbally talk, and everything else is just...
Oh, yeah. There's 2 scenes.
And that's it.
And then there's a couple of screams.
Yeah. But for the most part, everyone's dead silent.
Uh-huh.
That movie was so quiet that because the theater I was in was kind of empty, because, like, sometimes when it's a really quiet scene in a theater, you hear everyone just kind of, like, breathing and, like, shoveling their popcorn in their faces and stuff.
Because it's so quiet.
Yeah, or
I made the joke that when I saw the trailer for the first time that you're gonna hate being in a theater full of people mowing down on popcorn during that movie.
Yeah. That wasn't the case because it was so late after that movie came out that the theater had like 4 other people in it. It was 2 guys sitting in the same row as me and then like 2 old ladies in the back row. And one of them kept having to like leave to go to the bathroom, and it was like a trial for her to do that because she was in the top row. She walked real slow and had like an oxygen tank and like 5 purses. So there was a really quiet scene where it was just the sound of her just waddling down with this backpack of equipment.
I had that, but it was more obnoxious because I saw the movie with 2 other. It was just me and then 2 couples.
Oh.
One couple about like opposite me, and then one couple in the very front row, and then the couple in the front row couldn't shut up. So there was a very important.
That.
It's the
There's
worst.
a very important scene in the movie where they're going.
Yeah,
and of course
I
they weren't talking They weren't talking super loud, so it wasn't the worst thing.
But the
ever,
whispering
like,
itself is still also distracting.
I wouldn't mind if it was in Infinity War because there's so much noise in that movie.
Infinity War is the loudest movie I've ever seen because it's like 3 hours of shit exploding and people arguing.
It's literally called A Quiet Place.
It actually, near the beginning, the intro, I remember I was like worried because there's only like 2 scenes where stuff was getting like a little bit too loud. I remember the only other time was near the intro when like the movie was starting and it's so dead quiet because it wants to really get you into this like this world. It was so quiet that I could actually hear 2 people in the hallway of the movie theater having a conversation, and they were like really into it and talking really loud. And I was like, can you guys stop? Like, who just goes to the movie theater and then just talks in the hallway? Like, no. Stop it!
Mm-hmm.
And then after like 5 or 6 minutes, they finally left.
And then, of course...
And then there was the old lady walking down the stairs.
And, of course, and the best part of it was that in the ending, as I was walking out of the theater, because I go to college in a small town, so, you know, theater is walking distance from where I stay. So I was walking back out of the theater. The 2 people who were sitting in the very front row sort of like... their car was parked close to where I was walking, so they just started the car and was like, vroom, and just sort of spun around right next to me really close. And I think that was like them just sort of putting up their metaphorical middle finger at me, because when they were talking in the middle of an important scene, I was like, can you please be quiet?
Oh, fuck
so
that.
I feel like that was their way of being just assholes back. So,
I mean, to be fair, I've had some movie theater parking lot altercations before. I can't remember what reason, but I remember there was some guy who was being such a dick at the movie theater that I spit on his car, and it was so cold that it froze, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna have to wash that off.
Ew.
I was proud of I can't remember what he did. He like, I think he like almost hit my car trying to get a parking spot. And then, you know, got in there and then was, like, being all indignant about it. And then me and whoever I was with had to park somewhere else. And then, like, on the way over, I was like, you know, I'm going to spit on that guy's windshield. And I'm going to make sure it's, like, a really, really gross one, too. Like,
you're a terrible person.
Like, I've never hawked a loogie before, but that time I did it. And I don't have any regrets. I regret a lot of things in my life, but I don't regret that. There's 2 things. There's 2 things I don't regret. There's spitting on that man's windshield and meeting Sadie.
So you regret making your YouTube channel?
Oh, I absolutely do. It's been a horrible experience. I want to die.
You regret being born?
Yes. I shouldn't have done that. That's the worst mistake I ever made. Hang on, my cat is in the room. I'm going to go let him out. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I go walk 4 feet over here and do that.
In the beginning, the universe was created. Well, that made a lot of people very angry, and it's widely considered since to have been a bad move.
We shouldn't have done that. Hey, I'm back.
I'm sorry, I was referencing Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Did you guys have a conversation while I was gone? It sounded like David just made a reference to a obscure British sci-fi book while Sadie was dead quiet.
Obscure British sci-fi book?
I'm joking. It's a joke.
You weren't even gone for a minute.
I was gone for like 10 seconds.
How would you even start a conversation in 10 seconds?
Well, you and I do it a lot. Hey, how are you? How was your day?
That's not what we're talking about.
Sadie, are you going to work tomorrow?
Me?
Yeah, are you going to work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, what time are you getting back?
Around 4.
Sweet, I'll see you then. Because that'll be like 2
Okay.
for me because of the time zone difference.
All right.
All right.
I see we're both living in the wrong time zone then.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true. Actually, you two are pretty close, I think.
What time is it for you now, David?
10:30.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Nice.
Interesting.
We're from the future, Xavier.
It-
I always say that.
It sucks.
I always tell my friends that.
We're from the future, and we
Yeah.
can tell you pretty conclusively that it sucks.
I was just about to
So
ask:
don't
is
join
life
us.
less shitty in 2 hours?
No, it's more
No.
shitty.
Everything gets
Exactly.
worse in these next 2 hours. Good luck.
Thanos gets the soul gem in the next 2 hours.
Oh no! All of your favorite celebrities are. No, I can't say that.
Oh no! We won't be able to see Zoe Saldana as Gamora. Spoilers. I don't care.
Oh, come
we'll
on,
only
man.
be able to see her in the new Star Trek movie and the new Avatar movie. So we won't be able to see her as a weird alien at all.
I kind of appreciate that Zoe Saldana is in like every major sci-fi franchise right now.
Except Star Wars.
Except Star
We gotta
Wars.
fix that.
She needs a role in Star Wars too to complete it, and she needs to play like a weird like alien lady in that too, because at this
Except
point it would
different
be
colors.
yeah
She's been
blue,
She's been blue
black,
for Avatar.
she's
been
green.
green. See, she needs to be yellow or like red or something.
Yellow is a hard skin color to pull off for a sci-fi character because it could almost come off as being a little on the weird side.
Do banana yellow though.
Okay, all right. We can't
And
offend
besides,
anyone with
she's a
that.
minority, so she can't be racist.
That's true. Sadie, you can say the N-word if you want.
No. You're gonna get me in trouble.
Just
Fuck
walk
you.
up to a black man on the street and say the N-word and just say, "Hi, I'm a minority too," so you can't be
I'm not
offended.
white, I can say it. And then you and him will high five. And I'll just be there
Everyone's
standing in horror.
Racist sometimes.
I don't know. I really don't get it. Why people or why some people say that if you call someone Asian, it's offensive.
Who says that?
Suppose it would depend on the
I've never
context.
heard that.
Yeah, it's offensive for some people.
So
If-
you being Asian,
If
the answer is no.
it's offensive,
It depends on the context, I would say.
because it's like one of my friends who's Japanese, like they say that it's offensive for some people because it's like generalizing them. Because Asians are like a various combination of
East
countries.
Asian.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So like it's stereotyping a certain group of people. But for me, if someone would call me Asian, I won't get offended.
Okay,
I mean,
my
I'm Asian, so
yeah, my take on that is. Oh, and by the way, it's cool to have an Asian girlfriend. I love you. It's hard to tell someone's exact country of origin just by looking at them, because like, you know, like a Frenchman and an American guy can look near identical. We're wearing similar clothes. Like if they're both like just a normal looking white guy, you know. You ever confuse a Swede for a Dutchman? You know, like it's hard to tell just by looking at someone unless they have like a fucking.
So why would that be?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would that be offensive? It will be more offensive if someone called you. Okay, let's say I'm a Japanese and someone called me, "Hey, you're Chinese." No, that would be more offensive.
Well, you just
So
correct them.
I would rather be called, "Hey, I know you're an Asian." Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't know.
Look at you
really
Caucasian.
don't get it.
That's equally offensive. Calling an Irish person a Caucasian.
Okay, Sadie, can we start a
Really?
rap group and we'll be called Cock Asian? And
No.
Your nickname will be the first half, and mine will be Dash Asian. Like, we'll leave the hyphen in the middle.
Okay,
and it'll just confuse everyone.
Okay. Give me 5 reasons why should I say yes to that.
The record deal is going to get us a lot of money. I think.
No.
I think you have a good singing.
You're gonna get a lot of puss.
That's true. Yeah. So if you're into that, I guess.
I don't know what you're getting me into, Xavier.
What's a third reason, David?
I don't know.
I don't think reason 2 was really swaying her.
Yeah, she doesn't sway that way.
She does. I don't think she was interested in the quote lot of puss that you offered. We could have a cool looking album cover.
You get to live in Los Angeles, shit.
Yeah, there you go. You get to live in Los Angeles.
No.
That's true. You visit there a lot for work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't go there.
I mean, it's not a terrible city to live in at all. And their airport is the best airport in the country.
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's a terrible place. It's just that
I was just joking.
It's the opposite of a quiet place.
I just don't want to go there. That's all.
What's the most noisy place in the world?
Oh God, I just thought of a really bad joke.
What?
I'm not gonna say that. I'll type it to Sadie.
But to answer your question, David, it's New York.
The noisiest place in the world.
Mm-hmm. I think.
Or the.
There are always police cars everywhere, like, and fire alarms.
Do you see? I typed it in the Skype chat.
Did you hear that recently?
Do you see
New York lost its place as the prominence on the world stage? It is no longer the most. London has now exceeded New York.
It's in the Skype chat. I don't know if you can see it.
No, just type it on Twitter.
Okay, all right.
Did you hear that New York has fallen? No longer the great city it used to be because it's no longer the London is more so. So what's wrong? What happened? Is being number 1 not good enough for New York anymore?
For some reason, Skype is being a little glitchy, and you're kind of fading out. And because we're recording your audio on my end, that's a problem.
Ooh,
basically, I'm saying it's a bad thing that New York doesn't have a high murder rate anymore.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we got Sadie. You gotta contribute to that. Get the murder rate higher there while you're there. Okay.
Why?
Because you need to be number 1.
Because we have a population issue, and if we had half the people, listen to that purple guy. He's nice.
Okay, so
he never did anything questionable.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm starting to play that.
Yeah, I like how you didn't even actually really argue. Like, you sounded like you were gonna say something to that, and then you just went, okay. Like, it just faded out.
I wasn't listening. I was just letting you know that I'm playing.
I know. I saw the Steam notification. You're playing Dead Space right now.
Dead Space.
I want you to beat that whole game because it's like my favorite game ever made.
Well, watch Babylon 5 then.
Sadie, we have to play that game together at some point.
No, you have to watch Babylon 5.
We'll probably do that at some point too. But no, we have to play Dead Space.
Why?
It's a scary.
Yeah, why?
It's a scary game, but it's my favorite video game ever.
No.
We can do it. Okay.
It's not that scary.
No.
I'll just give you the controller and just watch.
No. I won't even be in the same room with you if you play a scary game.
Oh, come on. We can do it. It'll be all right.
No.
If we're going to live together, you have to be okay with this.
No, still no.
All right. Well,
I really hate scary things. Just to get it out there.
Speaking of which, you want to talk about scary movies?
You like me. Oh, scary movies, yeah. The Wayans brothers just need to stop directing
White
things.
Chicks. It's the most terrifying movie ever.
What? White chicks. White chicks are scary even when we're not talking about the movie.
Yes, that was the joke.
Oh, okay.
So I've kind of started going back on the horror classics.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited about that too.
Friday the 13th.
You did? What'd you think of it?
Oh.
It was a decent movie.
Did you see the twist coming?
I kinda did.
I mean, it's a movie. It's like 40 fucking years old. We can say that the twist is that the killer is not Jason Voorhees; it's his mom.
But also, there might have been Jason Voorhees there in somewhere anyway.
Well, because he was there. Yeah, maybe it's implied, kind of. That's the thing, is that Jason Voorhees is he's technically a zombie. Oh wait, you know something dumb, David?
What?
It was confirmed that he's a Deadite from Evil Dead, and that's in the same universe.
That's really dumb.
In the 9th Friday the 13th movie, they try to figure out a way to get rid of him, so they use the Necronomicon, and it's the exact same prop and everything.
That's so dumb.
I love it. That's why there's a comic where Evil Dead.
I'm gonna repeat my criticism of I'm going to repeat my criticism of Spectre, the James Bond movie, which is not everything needs to be connected.
You know what else you could say that about?
What?
That one movie series?
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, totally. That's the one.
That's my problem with The Dark Knight Rises as a movie, is because it tries too hard to connect everything from the previous movies when it doesn't have to be. How do I,
my brain hurts.
Kick something dead?
Oh, are you doing the stomping? Because that game is the stomping simulator.
How do I stomp it?
Do you have a controller?
No.
I don't fucking know, man. I don't play keyboard and mouse. I'm like a person who has a job and kisses girls. I don't play keyboard and mouse like you plebeians.
Keyboard and mouse is better.
How dare you, sir? You're fired.
You didn't even fire me, because you never hired me.
There's a joke with J. Jonah Jameson where he bumps into some guy at the elevator in the Bugle, and he's like, get out of my way or you're fired, and he goes, I don't work here, and he goes, all right, you're hired, now you're through, get out.
That's best.
J. Jonah Jameson is probably my favorite. Probably one of my favorite tertiary characters to a superhero thing ever. Just because every scene he's in, he just steals. It's hard to have a character funnier than Spider-Man, but he just consistently does it.
So then you just see him running away from. So you just see Spider-Man standing in the hallway, and then the guys at the end of the hallway saying, "Stop him! Stop him!" And then you see J. Jonah Jameson running away with the money, and he says, "Sorry, not my problem."
So are you implying that J. Jonah Jameson shot Uncle Ben?
Yes.
You know what? Knowing Nick Spencer, that's gonna happen. I'm scared to read the new Spider-Man book because I know that Nick Spencer...
Because you know it's going to be too good?
Okay, the art is really good because it's the guy who draws Invincible, and that book is awesome art-wise. It's got some problems with story.
So, hey...
What are you slurping and umming over?
Yeah, what are you doing, David?
Are you over there, snorting cocaine?
No, I was eating.
Oh.
Eating what?
Something.
Were you drinking tea?
I actually was.
I knew it!
Iced tea, but still.
It counts.
You like tea?
Yeah.
David?
I survived this semester in terms of liquids. I survived on nothing but hot tea and iced tea and some coffee by the end.
Yeah, heard that, Xavier? Tea is good.
It is. Tea is good, and I will punch anybody who disagrees with that.
Yeah, you heard that, Xavier?
I love you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are the best. I wish I could give you a hug. I'm excited that you two are going to meet when we all go to Comic-Con. That's going to be fun. We all have to take lots of pictures. Sadie, I'm going to get started on your costume. Happen. I have to go buy a lot of purple fabric.
Oh,
yeah. David, are you cosplaying this year?
Not unless I have some help with that, because I don't actually give that much of a shit about it.
Okay. So, I mean, you could go as like Sherlock Holmes again. You did that. Is that what you were?
That was like 2 years ago.
That was all right.
This past year, I was I recycled your what was it? I recycled your Riddler.
Riddler. Oh yeah, you did go as the Riddler.
The Riddler.
The Riddlerman. Man, I made that cosplay for you in like a day. You know what was the funniest, worst thing ever? Like, this is objectively the worst thing that's ever happened in my life, and I considered suicide very, very hard after it happened. Is I spent all day looking for a bowler hat that was green, and I couldn't find one, so I found one and then spray painted it green, and then went to a different store to go get you, like, a jacket, and then I walked by a green bowler hat! And it was just like, it was because it was like near St. Patrick's Day, I think, so it was like just had like a 4-leaf clover thing on it, and I would have just like had to rip the stitches out of that, and that would have taken me like 5 minutes. And that was after I spent like 3 hours spray painting a fucking black hat to make it green. Do you know how many layers of paint that is? The hat was sticky. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. And I also spray painted your jacket because that was black too.
You know, when my cousins hear that I'm gonna be going to a Comic-Con with you and I'm gonna cosplay, they're gonna give me shit.
Why?
Because they know that I don't do those things.
Oh, of course. You're gonna be like, what are you doing? Why are you hanging out with that comic book nerd? Thought you hate that stuff.
But they know you, so...
That's true. They're fans of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be jealous.
Yeah, remember that? I still remember that time when I discovered that 2/3 of the way through the first semester here, the guy who stayed across the hall from me was a fan of yours.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
He transferred right after that semester, so he wasn't here anymore.
So how did you find out that?
How did I find out about that? I walked into his room, and he was playing Spider-Man 2, the video game. And I said, hey, my friend who's the YouTuber had made a series of videos about that. It's like, wait, that one? As in, that one?
Oh, yeah, because you said like, Xavier, and he goes, that Xavier? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was how it happened.
There was also that guy you saw in Subway watching bad comic art.
Yeah,
he was watching a video with you in it, and you could have gone over and said, hey, that's me in that video.
But he was like a 40-year-old fat man, so it would have been weird.
It would have been a nice icebreaker, you know. Maybe you and him could have been best friends.
No.
Why not?
Because he's 40 years old.
So
David's ageist.
Yes.
What, is there a problem with me dating someone older? Huh?
You pervert.
Oh.
Wait, which one's
You're
the pervert?
You're one of those people.
Wait, who's...
I don't know. Both of you are.
Yeah! Sadie, you hear that?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
No,
Why?
I mean... No, actually, in my, I had a Spanish class this past semester, and my Spanish teacher, who's like 49 years old, so for one of our classes we had like, okay, we need to talk about like weird things you have to do with love and how you like different people or whatever, and it's like, do you have any weird things you have with like romantic relations and everything? And then she said, okay, I'll start out. I like older men.
Okay.
Just right out there.
All right.
That was amazing.
Well, like how old? Like old?
Like,
I mean,
because her husband is 35 years older than she is.
Wow.
So she's 49. He's like 84.
That's fucking too much. I don't know about that. Like, I think love is love, but like, there's gonna be some logistical problems with that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of logistical problems. Like, how can you go into, like, if you have 2 eggplants and nothing to put the eggplants in, how are you gonna do it? It's unnatural.
Are you making a sex joke right now that I'm not understanding?
I think he is.
I'm being homophobic.
Oh, okay. It's always funny when
homophobics are homophobes.
What if okay, I'm gonna be like I'm not gonna agree to the both of you for like a second. What if she just likes him because of the companionship?
That's fine.
People does that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's fine. It's all right.
I mean, it's because it's always like this. If someone or people would see someone like a girl or a woman or a man dating someone much older, they would just think, oh, it's all in the money, sex, or whatever. What if they just love the companionship of each other?
No, that's crazy. That's completely insane.
What?
Sidebar. Don't feel like self-conscious about our thing going, because you're old enough, like you're a little bit older than me, but in like not enough that it's weird, just enough that it's super cool and everyone's jealous. I'm
not saying.
I told everyone at my cousin's grad party yesterday that my girlfriend is 5 years older than me, and everyone gave me high fives.
No, I'm not like saying us. It's
no, I get you. I understand.
I'm being facetious. I actually really love that Spanish teacher. She's an absolute sweetheart.
Aww.
And I loved her class. I'm just being jokey jokes.
We're jokemans.
I know.
I'm John Jokeman, and this is my friend Jake Jokeman.
Yep. Okay, another fun story.
He's my life partner.
Okay, another fun story about that Spanish class. If I can find the I'm gonna go look around for my school stuff so I can find the assignment. But this is a fun story. So talk amongst yourselves for about 20 seconds.
Okay, I think we have like 30 more minutes of the podcast. An hour and a half is usually a good thing. Is that okay, Sades?
It's up to you. I mean, it's your podcast.
Well, no, I'm just like I hope you don't have to
so
leave early because you got work tomorrow.
Okay, so I did a video project for that Spanish class, right? Where we had to like observe like stuff that happens on our campus and on our school over time, and then give our thoughts on it and give our takes on it. So
you just started following around the local drug dealer.
No. I started this class at the last minute because I'm lazy. So I filmed it over the afternoon. That. So to cover up the fact that I filmed it at the last minute, I filmed a bunch of like really shitty B-roll, like video of like stuff on campus, of me walking, of like literally of my keyboard on my computer. And then I turned it in, and I got a really good grade on it. And she said, "Oh, I love the symbolism of the key that you showed, and of the building that's half constructed and everything." It was like I literally pulled this out of my ass.
That's so awesome! I love when
in an afternoon.
I love when people are like doing cloud watching on something you make, and then you're just like, "Yeah, that was intentional." I'm an artist.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go death of the author on this because it means I get a better grade in the class.
That's so cool. Man. Yeah, there was an example of something like that happening. Oh, okay, so one time for a project for astronomy class in senior year of high school, we were supposed to make like a video describing some kind of like, you know, science-y topic. So I did like a quick one about like the concept of parallel universes, and like I waited until the last day before it was due. I threw it together in an hour, and I got like what was cool is that it was the first time I ever used that animated avatar thing of myself, the one at the desk. I made it specifically for that video, and like that was the first time I ever used it, and I like did like a couple of jokes about like Jet Li's The One and all kinds of silly things in there. And I turned it in, and like the teacher, I'm not going to say his name because that's probably not a good idea. But
is it the bald one?
Yes, the bald one, who everyone was best friends with, even though all they did was talk shit about him.
And they all roasted him super hard.
Everyone was so mean to him, but they also, I feel like, would cry super hard if anything bad happened to him.
He also roasted them back.
That's true.
So.
He was cool. He was a cool teacher. My mom asked if he was single once, and I was like, wow.
No, he's married and has kids.
Yeah. His wife is really pretty, too, and he's always, like, throwing that in everyone's faces when they make fun of him. He's like, yeah, well, get on my level, and shows, like, pictures of his wife, and they're like, oh, you got us there.
She's also, like, actually the one who probably earns most money in the relationship.
I don't know what that's like. No,
you don't.
I'm making a joke because Sadie's job is way better than mine. Anyway,
Oh.
You have a job?
You always say that.
I mean, this is getting distracted from the point. I turned in that video that I made in like less than an hour, and it was full of shitty jokes, and I didn't really talk like a whole lot about actual science. But like the teacher was so blown away by it that he actually gave me 150% on it, and then wrote my college recommendation letter because he thought I was so cool. And then he started showing that to other classes because he liked it so much. Like he waited until they were on a similar subject, so he just like, can I use this to educate some of the other students? Like, and that's how actually I got recognized in public another time, because there was a kid in like one of the 7th grade classes who saw that, and at the time also was like watching some of my videos on YouTube, and was like, that guy goes to our school, and like even talked with Mr. Kirk. I've accidentally said his name.
Mr. Captain Kirk?
Yeah, Mr. Kirk about it. His name was Kirkson. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, he talked to him about that, and he's like, yeah, he's like got a YouTube channel. It was back before I was like really big too, so it was kind of impressive that it happened. And I was hanging out with one of our other friends, Will, in the parking lot, like waiting for my ride to get there. And we were just talking about like anime or something lame, and this like 7th grader walks by me, and I'm wearing the hoodie that I have in that like depiction of me, like I have the actual hoodie, and he walked by and heard my voice and saw how I looked, and he walked past and then stopped, spun all the way around with his fingers both pointed out, and went, Godzilla Mendoza, and I went, and then Will rolled his eyes and looked so upset that was happening. And I was just like, yeah, I'm that guy from the internet. And he started telling me about like how he liked my Batman Arkham Knight video and everything. And I just looked over at Will, and he's just looking at his phone. Like you totally hated that.
Well, of course, that guy would hate that because he hates anything that's good.
When you say that, like, there's clearly a problem. What is that guy doing if you're having that criticism of him? Because everyone knows you as the guy who has really...
likes everything.
The guy who has lukewarm opinions or likes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever genuinely disliked something, David?
Maybe. It might have happened once or twice.
The punchline was you were supposed to say me.
No, you're all right.
Oh, that's like the nicest thing he's ever said. I'm gonna give you a hug now. When I see you again, I'm gonna give you
a computer hug.
A big hug. I'm gonna hug my microphone. I'm gonna get right up on this pop filter and fuck up the audio super bad, so you have to edit it. Anyway, there you go. Do we all run out of stuff to talk about?
Hey, you want to actually talk about Infinity more now, just to get it over with?
All right. What an ending! The impact is lessened by the fact that like we know what sequels are confirmed.
Because like I got what I wanted. I was on a podcast a while ago talking about what I wanted from Infinity Wars was them to lose, But what I meant from that is that I wanted them to have something that was lost, some sort of meaningful consequence that they're going to have to deal with in future movies. Because I feel that the ending of this movie, spoiler alert for I don't care whatever.
I mean,
reason,
it's made like $1 million. It's like the third biggest opening weekend ever. Who hasn't seen it?
So when Thanos does the Infinity Gem thing and half the universe dies, that's one of those comic book things that you know is going to get unwritten. So it's one of those, like, them. It's the. I feel like it was the cop out way of them losing, because it's going to be very easy to, and I feel like they already started doing the foundation for a way where they can write this story so that they manage to unkill everyone.
Well,
so because everybody's going to be unkilled,
he's holding a glove that can control reality, right? If he can snap his fingers and kill everyone, they just got to find someone strong enough to put it on, like, without dying, and then they can just undo it, like, just Control Z that shit. You know, like,
exactly. So it's not really a very
now the ending would be bad if he showed the Infinity Gems being destroyed at the end, like he snaps his finger and does the thing, and then he just blows up the glove so no one can ever undo it.
Okay, so I had a rant. I had a pet peeve about Infinity War, and I'm going to rant about it to you.
Okay. Sadie, are you excited for this rant?
I felt that there was a big problem with Infinity War, and it was this, that you could feel the hand of the screenwriter very strongly in the story, influencing things and forcing them to go in a certain direction. Like when like the moment where Peter Quill gets angry with Thanos and disrupts everything. You could feel that, for me, that felt very forced, because it was like, yeah, we know what the direction the plot has to go, so this is, of course, what's going to happen next. So I felt that throughout the whole movie there was a sense that, this was my complaint with Civil War as well, is that a lot of the dramatic elements of the plot didn't feel genuine. They felt very, very forced, because this is where the plot has to go now. They didn't feel organic.
Yeah, I could understand that. Like, there was some spots where you could see the decision being...
The plot has to go in this direction, so we're just going to make the characters do the thing to make it go in this direction.
Okay, so a complaint that I had, because, like, no one wants to hear us, like, just talk about how much we love the movie. I personally think it's the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Not my favorite, but I think probably overall, the one that came closest to being... I know you're apathetic to it.
I'm very aggressively apathetic.
I look at it and consider it like the one that came closest to being like an actual like art movie that you could like discuss and like actually, you know, have some thought put into it.
I disagree with that.
You know, like a lot of people talk about Dark Knight. I feel like we're still struggling to get a comic book movie that has like depth on that level. And every time a DC movie comes out, everyone wants to pretend it's that. I feel like this one actually was like... Logan. Yeah, Logan was that, for sure. This, I feel like, is in that realm. Not quite there, unlike Logan or Dark Knight, but...
Nothing from Disney can truly be considered anything except for pop art.
I consider it closest of anything in the MCU. With that being said, I loved it, but here's some complaints because everyone wants to just hear us bitch about it, right? The Guardians of the Galaxy scenes were obnoxious because every time they're in there, they just like shut down the whole story just because they're all just talking and making jokes.
It made you realize how tonally dissonant the different areas of the MCU really are.
Like, they're having this conversation with Thor that lasts for like 9 minutes where they're just talking about how hot he is. And Peter Quill is jealous. And it's like,
That's a very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque moment.
Yeah, well, because James Gunn wrote those parts of the script. So it wasn't like inauthentic, like it was by him. But it just didn't feel right, and I felt like they could have edited those down like a lot because it was starting to like get on my nerves because I was like, I'm really invested in all the drama and dark shit going on in this movie. Like, people are dying. And then it cuts to this scene where they're talking about Thor's dick for like 12 minutes uninterrupted. And then it cuts to this scene where like people are murdering each other and it's really violent and sad. And you're worried that characters you like and care about are going to be like horribly killed. And then it cuts back to another scene where like Peter Quill is like arguing about why he doesn't think he's fat, but everyone else thinks he's fat. It's like, can you fucking focus? And then another thing, they did that comic book thing I hate. The dumbest, worst thing ever about comic books is whenever there's a fucking crossover, we always gotta fight before we team up. You know? The Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy bump into each other in a room, and despite how little sense it makes, considering they're both groups of humans, well, I mean, they have a human with them.
Do you bleed?
They're doing the do you bleed thing, and they're like, you know, dick measuring and shooting lasers and throwing each other through walls, and I'm going to do my special combo move with my teammate, and I'm going to do my special combo move, and I'm going to show off my cool robot spider legs out of my backpack, and I'm going to have a laser whip, and like... My
pet peeve...
That didn't need to happen! I hate that!
Also, I love how Infinity War, I love how in Russo Brothers films, the only thing that Spider-Man does is reference movies. Despite the fact that he never does that in the actual Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. In Homecoming, he didn't make any movie reference. Or maybe he did, and I just didn't notice it.
No, he didn't.
Sadie, have you seen Spider-Man Homecoming?
No.
Oh. I could have sworn Anna told me you saw that one.
No.
Alright, well...
I don't know. You know my take on this, right? I don't hate it, but I'm just not interested. That's
fair. That's fine.
That's like me about 90% of the MCU these days. That was my reaction. That was my reaction to Infinity War, is that I'm very aggressively ambivalent.
You know what I'm aggressively ambivalent towards?
What?
Aquaman. Are you excited for Aquaman?
Are you saying that the director of Saw might not make a good superhero movie?
The director of Saw? I didn't know he did that.
It's the director of Saw.
I knew he directed one of the Fast and Furious movies.
And then he's
like the Saw movie?
Yeah.
The first one.
Okay.
And he's directing Aquaman. The most anticipated movie of the year.
The what?
Hold on, I gotta look up when Aquaman is coming out.
November.
Like the specific release date.
Why?
Okay, it's coming out it's coming out December 21st. They're banking on that being like a Force Awakens kind of opening.
It's a Christmas movie. What are you talking about? It's such a great Christmas movie.
Yeah, whenever I think of Christmas, I think of a shirtless man who talks to fish. I mean, he's basically Santa Claus. Man. Yeah, he's basically Santa Claus. Okay.
Hawaiian Santa Claus.
I think it's a little crazy that we're pushing it this close to the release date of that, and we still don't have a trailer. And I don't think it's because they want to be like mysterious, like a Cloverfield film. I think it's just because they're embarrassed, and they know everyone's gonna make fun of them because of what's coming out right now. Because you got Deadpool, Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, like all this stuff on Marvel's end. And then you got Aquaman is all they're releasing this year from DC. And it's like...
Well, then again, all that Fox is releasing this year is Deadpool. So that's an embarrassment of failure there in and of itself.
Do you think that DC is just going to give up?
No.
Do you think they're going to keep going?
There's too much money.
They made... Did you? I mean, do you know how much of a box office failure Justice League was?
Not really enough of one to justify canceling it.
Yeah, but still, everyone gets less and less attention. I feel like Aquaman is gonna like.
But Wonder Woman was the most important superhero movie of all time, and if you dislike it, you're a sexist. So there's that too.
How dare you? Black Panther is the most important superhero film of an all time, and if you don't agree, you're a racist.
What?
Welcome to the Racist and Sexist Show.
The Racist and Sexist Show.
Someone make that title card, and also make sure to include Sadie in it.
I was making fun of the Itchy and Scratchy.
I know. Someone make the Itchy and Scratchy Show title card, but with me and David and Sadie.
The Racist and Sexist Show. Don't forget phobic of sexual minorities too.
Oh yeah. Man, conversations about that are strange.
Man, I hate those straight people. Fucking straight people. Who needs them?
Yeah, those darn straights. And they're...
What are you, fucking straight?
Why, you fucking hetero?
Sexual?
What, do you like vaginas, sir? You freak? What are you, some kind of masculine man? This is the part of the podcast where we get a little bit tired because we've been laughing and talking a lot.
Yeah, I'm just here listening to the both of you.
So the person who's not been talking can talk now.
Yeah, pick up the slack for both of us since we're fucking falling apart over here. Be entertaining for 10 more minutes.
Talk about.
Talk about anything. Like, what's on your mind?
How's the weather?
It's warm here.
It's raining here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I can't keep up with the both of you.
You don't have to keep up. You just talk, and then we'll listen.
I have opinions about things.
You see any movies lately? We're putting you on the spot really hard right now. This is, like, bad. I'm sorry.
No, I haven't seen any movies. Like, the last show I watched was with you.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go? What's your opinion of that? That's a thing.
What show is this?
What? What show was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad.
I have never watched an episode of that.
Oh, it's good. Like, Xavier made me watch it.
Did he tie you down and force you to watch it?
Like, he put a shotgun
Jesus.
at the back of my head. Like, watch this with me or else.
Good.
Good God.
Yeah, no. Now the people would know how you convince me to do things.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always via shotgun. We will have a shotgun wedding.
Where you shot a gun.
Yeah, during a wedding.
Like, we'll both go up with shotguns, and then we have to shoot the priest in order to officially be married. Like it's not official until the priest has been executed. This is my new post-apocalypse story.
Shots or it didn't happen.
I would very much like for Michael Bay to produce a film about this. It could be called Till Death Do Us Part, because that's easy and stupid.
Till part do us death?
Till what part do we die?
Till death do we part? Till part do we death?
Till what part does death?
I don't know, I forgot.
I'm confused now.
Yeah. So, hey, did you hear that a private equity firm bought the Diddleman Company?
Jesus Christ, what a segue.
Yeah, a company called Lantern Capital, which is an investment firm based out of Dallas, Texas, bought the remains of the Weinstein Company for $300 million out of bankruptcy court.
Are they going to change the name of it so it's no longer named after a known rapist?
What do you think? No, they're gonna keep it. Of course they will.
They will change it.
Obviously, there was actually a bid a couple of weeks ago when this lady who worked for the Obama administration wanted to buy their company. Her lady called Maria Contreras Sweet, who was like a small business administrator for the Obama company, for the Obama White House, and then that fell apart, and she wanted to rename it to make it like a female-led company with like female executives and everything, but then that didn't happen because the monies didn't appear, and now some private equity firm has bought it up instead.
Why? I wonder what possesses someone to be like, now that that rapist is out of office, his company is primed for buying. I could probably really use that in my reservoir of funds.
Well, intellectual property. That's why.
That's true. I mean,
because there's like a couple hundred films in their library,
including Kill Bill.
Yes. No. Actually, no.
Oh,
Kill Bill was produced under the Weinstein era at Disney, Miramax.
Oh yeah, that was a Disney film.
It was. Actually.
What the fuck? What a weird timeline.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Sadie, did you know Kill Bill was produced by Disney technically?
Exactly. So here's the thing. A lot of people say that Disney made R-rated films in the past, so they could make R-rated films when they buy Fox.
No.
A lot of those happened when the Weinsteins worked for Disney under their Miramax label, which was their old company.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to happen in the future because of that reason, because the Weinsteins are no longer there to be that sort of creative counterbalance to Disney.
So maybe Fox could become the new Miramax. I'm grasping at straws for things to be good again in the future when everything is inevitably going to be bad.
You loser.
I know.
Speaking of Disney, you know that the classic Disney movies, like the old ones, the classic ones, they're really violent and gore. They just change it to be romantic and cheesy for the children.
Oh yeah, like
yeah, Red Riding Hood.
Of course.
And Sleeping Beauty. The original story is very violent.
And speaking of Red Riding Hood, did either of you see Hoodwinked?
I did.
No.
Hoodwinked was awesome. It was a movie where they were playing off the Red Riding Hood story like it was a crime scene because it starts.
Like Shrek,
yeah, but better.
But with Anne Hathaway.
Okay, so it starts with the police showing up to the cabin where everything goes down, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. So they're interviewing everyone and asking for their side of the story. So they're like, they asked the wolf why he was there and why he was dressed up as the grandma, or they asked the grandma why she was tied up in the closet or something. Like sure, it's a little bit more censored, so it's not as violent, but it was like this like deconstruction of it, like Usual Suspects, but with Red Riding Hood.
So it's like a retell of Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
So it was like Shrek, how it's sort of like a more modern retelling of those classic like fairy tales
with like modern culture references.
With Anne Hathaway as Little Red Riding Hood and Patrick Warburton as the wolf.
Patrick Warburton's voice is so amazing. I wish he would like narrate the audiobook about my life.
That's presuming there would be an audiobook made out of your life.
David had a habit of trying to take Xavier down a notch whenever he was feeling good about himself. But that didn't discourage him from trying to keep going anyway.
Have either of you watched...
That was a good Patrick Warburton impression. Fuck you.
Season 2?
Pay attention to me!
What?
Wait, what did you say?
Patrick Warburton's in it.
What about... What, season 2?
Series of Unfortunate Events.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, I keep hearing that. like this the series or the movie?
The series.
Because the movie's garbage.
You gotta talk louder into the microphone, love. You're getting a little distant.
Because, like, the movie is so bad that during the author commentary, when the author of the book did, like, a commentary track for the movie, he just got bored and started playing his accordion.
Oh, that's, like, the ultimate shade. Hey, Sadie, are you still there?
Lemony Snicket is a total savage.
Oh, no. Are we having technical difficulties? Is Sadie still here?
I'm here, but you both sounded like you're robotic or something.
Oh, it might be Skype is being a little silly. You were just completely
it's just that
silent for a
we
second.
forgot we had souls for 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Hello, David.
Okay.
Would you like to discuss Netflix original series?
Oh, yes, I would.
I like how you just talk like yourself.
Life, so why would I not?
Everyone's still really pushing that lore that you're a robot that I made for companionship, but you're malfunctioning and all you do is disagree with me and insult me.
That sounds like a really fun, like, sitcom.
Yeah!
Just, like, imagine making that a sitcom where a lonely inventor invents a robot, but he made it too good, so the robot realizes how much of a...
Like a socially inept dumbass he is.
Yeah.
So he's like, my creator is a fucking loser, but I have to live with him because he has the button that would kill me.
Kind of like Marvin the manically depressed robot from Hitchhiker's Guide, but like more just aggressively savage.
Yeah, like less like sarcasm thrown in and more like actively insulting the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. We'll pitch this to Fox. They'll cancel it after 3 seasons.
And then we'll be picked up on NBC.
And then NBC will make a shit zillion dollars by picking it up.
You want to know what the real reason why NBC picked up Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Why?
Because it's produced by Universal TV and NBC Universal.
Oh, so they already kind of owned it?
So the thing is, like, they already kind of owned it, the parent company that owns both, but they sold it to Fox. So Fox although despite the fact that it's actually a decently rated show, Fox wasn't making that much money from it because Universal TV sold, like, the syndication and the streaming rights elsewhere.
Oh.
And, of course, actual, like, live viewing TV makes no money anymore.
Because everyone's watching YouTube.
So basically what NBC did is that they picked up the series so that they would make more of it so that they could sell the seasons to Hulu. Weird world we live in.
Yeah, anyway, my sister is currently in the room asking me if I charged her cell phone even though I didn't even know I was supposed to. And I'm very confused. Do you want to be in the podcast for a little bit too? She just shrugs really hard. My cat walked in. I know he's gonna not shut up in a second now.
Which one is it?
It's Monkey.
Which cat is it?
It's your favorite one.
Oh, it's Monkey!
Oh, you
Yeah,
like
here, you
Monkey?
can borrow my
I
charger.
like
I'll
Panda.
get back to you in the morning.
Panda's
thank
fun
you.
too, but he
Because
like...
he looks like a huge cotton ball. So.
I'm also like really allergic to cats, and he always
Oh.
rubs his face in you all the time. So, yeah.
Aww.
So he's an adorable cat, but I also can't like
Be near him.
Can't pet him. Aww.
because
That's
he's
sad.
the shaggiest of them too.
Oh, he has the most fur. You know, he looks chubby,
Yeah.
but he's actually like really strong. That
He
cat
just has a lot of fur.
He has a lot of fur, but he's like buff. Like that cat can jump like way higher than all the other ones. And he can also open up closed doors, like because the lock on my door is like kind of shitty, so if you push on it like really hard and it's like, you know, because like sometimes it
He's
kind of
the
like
squall cat.
comes off the frame. Sometimes he's been able to actually open it, not when it's locked, but when it's closed for sure. And I'm like super
He's
impressed
the cat
by it.
who lifts, bro.
He's the alpha male cat. Oh, did you hear Monkey? He sneezed, and he sneezed on my shoes. Thanks, jerk. Anyway, he's the baby one because we got him like about a year ago. He was only 8 weeks old.
He's the baby.
There's probably a couple of Couch Potatoes episodes where that cat shows up, and he's the size of like a soda can, and we're holding him.
Yeah, I've started editing episodes like that, and it's adorbs.
Totes adorbs.
I'm excited to meet Xavier's cats.
She says she's gonna spend more time hanging out with the cats than me when she visits.
Yes.
So, very important question. Do you know any people who say hella?
What? Hella?
Yeah.
Hella.
Like, that's hella lit, fam.
Or that's... Yeah.
That's hella lame, yo.
Because I thought it was a thing that people would never say until I met a girl at school who actually says it.
Is she hot? I know what your opinion is of that. I want to get you on the spot so you can say it.
Why? What's wrong with it? You don't like the word? You despise it?
Hella? I do. It's banned on my Discord.
Why? Why?
Because it's mine and I can make the rules.
Okay, so you're just being selfish.
Yes.
There's not really
That's what you get for being a mildly successful internet personality.
Now I get to make all the rules. I am God in this domain. I will do things pretty much exactly how they were before, but that one word is banned.
Why? I don't get it.
It's just...
Is it like cringy for you, Hella?
It just seems kind of weird.
I wish I could show you the face I just made just now hearing you say it.
Plus it reminds
take a picture.
Plus it reminds Xavier of his ex-girlfriend because of that one video game.
Yeah. Yeah, she used to say that a lot. Anyway,
there's the video game was it Beyond
Life is Strange.
Beyond a Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Where the main character says hella a lot.
And looks identical to her, so playing that game is hell.
Okay, I need to see that video. I haven't seen it.
Is hell
the Thor Ragnarok villain?
Yeah.
Ow.
What are you saying ow for?
I bumped my knee.
I've done that several times in this podcast,
Plus,
but I haven't said it yet.
The soul hurts.
Yeah. I'm trying to take a picture.
Taboo for you.
I'm trying to take a picture of my cringe face because you're saying hella.
And also, Josh started saying it recently. So there's that. But Josh is also a weirdo for a lot of other reasons. Remember when he went to Comic-Con as a gay character despite not being gay, and then he had to kiss another guy?
What?
Remember he talked about this? Remember he told us about this?
When my camera rolls,
is that true? Is that? I mean,
I'm sure. Remember I'm not crazy. He told us about this. Like, remember, like he went as like a Homestuck character. Who was like gay for another.
Kiss a guy? That didn't happen.
What?
When did Josh kiss a guy at Comic-Con to be a joke?
No, it wasn't a joke. It was because it wasn't a joke. It was that he went as a Homestuck character because he was a Homestuck phase, and then like his friend went as the other character, and then like people were like, "Oh, you should totally kiss because it's like a couple," and then he did that.
Oh.
And then he told that as the story is how he realized that he wasn't gay.
Because there was a question of it before.
I mean, Josh is kind of an ambiguously gay person.
Come on, dude! That guy... You know what's weird? Is I've always... Because he gets so much attention from girls, like, always throughout high school, I always considered him, like, a really cool guy. But then people see him, and I go, yeah, that guy, you know, lots of girls hang out with him, and he's really popular. And he looks like the doofiest fucking nerd ever, and everyone's like, that guy? And I'm like, oh yeah, he does look like that. And I laugh at him and point. But, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, like, he hasn't actually dated that many girls. He just hangs out with them a lot. I understand maybe why there was some confusion. David, you've gone dead quiet.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Oh no.
David!
David! Are you fucking with us? You bastard!
David!
What?
You've gone so quiet. We thought we lost you.
That happens in public, actually. Like,
You just zoned out.
no, like in crowds. If I'm with
Okay.
like people and like I've managed to just sort of like disappear and people just lose me because I just like go quiet. It's actually really hilarious when people just think that I've disappeared and I just pop up behind them.
Why?
You know, I want to make fun of you for that, but all throughout high school, for some reason, I kept startling people. Because I would walk up behind them and go, "Hey man, how's it going?" They go, "Oh Jesus!" Because like they didn't know I was there. And I always go like, "What?" I was like, I wasn't sneaking up. I just walked by. Like, am I that hard to notice?
Okay, tell David what you did to me last time.
Oh, it wasn't last time. That was like a month ago.
Yeah, tell David what you did, you fucker.
Yes,
we were on a Skype call.
No.
And I was like, "Hold on, I'm gonna go get something for a second." And I muted, but then as a joke, like 10 seconds later, I unmuted because I told her I was gonna be away for like 5 minutes. So I unmuted like 10 seconds later and screamed, "Hello, Vietnam!" And it scared her so bad she was like mad at me for a little while.
Is that a reference to a thing?
Yeah, it was a Robin Williams movie.
Which one?
Good Morning Vietnam.
Is
My
that a
cat is at
movie?
the door and I'm gonna murder his whole family.
Do it.
No.
Anyway, talk amongst
Yes.
yourselves. I'll be right back.
Murder the family of cats.
Stop leaving every
So
time
murder
I open
yourself.
the door so you can just come back and meow
Yeah,
at it
'cause
again
you
later.
died.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
I'm going to strangle
So
you,
yeah, you did
Stimpy.
that to me. I started.
I find that pretty funny. Not going to lie there.
It was funny, but I was so mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to hang up.
I
Oh, yeah.
apologized profusely.
Yeah. I was like, fuck you.
Proforcely.
And then I said something to the effect of, "Thanks, sure."
Thanks, sure.
Yeah, because she said, "Fuck you." Alright, never mind. Alright.
Not everybody has a dirty mind like you do, Xavier.
She does.
You need to account the rest of
Yeah,
us. You need to remember that the rest of us on this podcast are actually very, very naive, innocent people, and you have to be.
Yeah, true. God.
Yes, we're
Sadie,
such
I have
good-
heard you say some of the worst things I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, don't go there.
No, what are you talking about? We're all such innocents here, except for you.
Don't let me tell them about what happened yesterday.
Don't go there. Fuck you.
I won't. Because, boy, is that personal. But
David will hate us.
we'll tell him after we're done recording, because that's funny.
He will never talk to me again, ever.
No, it's great.
He will hate my existence.
I know, he'll think I'm cool. No, he won't think I'm cool. He'll probably shake his head in shame at me and be like, "I can't believe you fucking did that." He'll be like,
Well, I mean, how many times I've done that. I've done that already so many times on things that you've done.
yeah.
Like, why do you make a?
I can't
a-
make
why
him
do you
any
ma-
more
why do you
ashamed of
make
me
a
than I
cable
already am.
costume and force me to dress up for it if it was only for 5 seconds of one shot.
That's the joke. Is you dressed up in this super elaborate costume so you could be told that you're not supposed to wear it. You looked
But
really
you
good in
made
that.
me do that.
You looked really good in the cable costume, to be fair, though. It was a good cosplay.
That was pretty like that was kind of like
It was cumbersome.
that was a lot of work to get into, so I'm kind of bitter about that.
Yeah, it took you a little while in the makeup chair because we had to put the scars on your eye and the white hair
And,
and in the robot arm.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Skype is getting a little fuzzy. I'm starting to have a harder time hearing you.
Skype.
Jesse.
Why?
Jesse.
Oh my god, I remember that scene again. No, David wouldn't know because he haven't seen Breaking Bad, but it's pretty funny.
Okay, I mean, we could explain it. There's a character listing. There's a character in Breaking Bad, and he's
there's a character played by Bryan Cranston called Jesse.
Yeah, totally. That's what that is. Anyway, he's listing off like supplies that they'll need to make meth, and he goes 70 M&M flask, and he goes it's just for millimeter.
Jesse,
M&M,
it's
like
millimeter.
Fucking, she lost her shit over that joke. She thought it was so funny. It's a day later and she's still laughing about it because he said M&M.
I wish I could laugh that hard about anything.
No, I find it funny because even someone who already have been introduced to like physics or chemistry or whatnot, you will read that as millimeter and not M&M.
Mm-hmm.
What a dumbass.
Yeah.
Jesse. Jesse. That's our new thing now. Is we just say Jesse.
Why did you star as Lex Luthor in the Batman vs Superman movie? You know better than that.
Jesse. Wait, Jesse Eisenberg? What?
Yeah.
What? Oh my god, there was a joke in Breaking Bad where as soon as he shaves his head for the first time, Jesse sees him and goes, "You look like Lex Luthor," and I go, "I fucking wish he was Lex Luthor." Well, almost was! But then Zack Snyder presented his new ideas. If by new you mean bad. We've been going for almost 2 hours. We should probably wrap it up soon.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you both said the thing.
Anybody who would listen this long is probably some nerds.
Probably some nerds like Diego.
We're cool.
This is probably really trippy for Diego, because he listens to every episode of this podcast. He was there when I met Sadie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably gonna be fun. Like hearing how thing like 4 months ago. 3 months ago. In the comments of a live stream.
Okay then.
Should we tell that story, Sadie?
Sure.
Are you sure? I mean, we're kind of running out of time, but if you think we could say it quickly. Okay, so everyone knows about my friend Levianist and or Damien. He's been on the podcast before. He's
Levea Damien.
He's millennial Dracula Jesus. If you've seen him. And he was doing another one of his coloring live streams for one of our comics that we're working on. And I was just there in the chat, and I was kind of bored. And then Sadie hopped in. And, because I had heard about her, because she's a friend of his. Like, she's the cousin of his girlfriend, is how she knows him. And they've talked before, and he even told her about me and told me about her. And as soon as she hopped in, I text messaged him, and I said, "Hey, Damien, I have a question. Do you know if Sadie likes chicken wings?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Do you also know if she likes short ginger guys?" And he went, "Oh, well, I don't know." And I think he was like really totally in disbelief that anything would like happen with that, because we're kind of different people. But then he was like jokingly like, "Hey, Sadie, did you know Xavier is single?" And then she started asking me all these questions like, "Hey, so are you into older girls?" And I went, "Yeah." And she was like, "Would you consider like a long distance relationship?" And I was like, "Sure." And it was like asking me all these questions.
Oh my god, it's like you're telling people that I did the first move.
You did do the first move. I didn't do anything. I was just sitting there having a panic attack on the comments, like, oh my god, is this actually happening? Is she playing a prank on me? Like, she's fucking with me, right? Like, I even started texting Damien and your cousin, and was like, is she like making a joke? And then Anna said, I think she might be drunk. Because they were both so baffled by what you were doing, and you're like asking me all these questions, and then you like made a huge deal about Damien and Anna both sending me a picture of you so I would know what you look like, and then you asked Damien in the middle of the stream what my phone number was, and then after that,
okay, I want to redeem myself with this. Okay,
none of this has been negative.
No, because you know what other people would think. Okay, I've known that, but I've known Xavier before even the stream, because my cousins from the Philippines are his fans, and then one of my friends is actually a fan of his.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I've known him even before.
He's such a famous person.
So I've known him even before I met him on that stream. So
yeah,
that's why I asked him questions, because I've known him even before. He's not a stranger to me.
Well, I mean, not anymore.
I mean, at that time.
At that time, kind of like a little bit, but yeah, we figured out a way to message each other after the stream ended, and then we talked from like midnight all the way until like 6 a.m. And the only reason we stopped talking was because we both had to sleep for like school or something. And well, school for me and work for you. And then, or no, you actually weren't working back then.
No,
I just needed to go to sleep because I had to go to school. But then I just kept texting you, and then like a week later, because like that night I asked you, do you think I'm attractive? And you said yeah, and I was like, why?
Yeah, I mean, who would ever find Xavier attractive?
You wanna touch that one, Sadie, or no? Or are we just gonna leave it?
I don't know.
Completely impossible. He's you look up a virgin in the dictionary and
oh man, she's gonna go crazy on you like that Deadpool comment section.
Oh yeah, I've seen
amazing.
it, David.
Because like, also I will say, making the virgin jokes is not quite. Okay, so making the virgin jokes, I'm doing that because I replaced the old jokes. I used to make fun of Xavier by calling him a slut. And you can't call somebody a slut as a joke if there's somebody who could actually have sex. It's only funny if you call somebody a slut who is very demonstrably not sexually active.
So now that the situation is reversed, he's throwing virgin at me a lot.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I know you're joking when you call him.
You don't have to specify anything.
Okay.
They don't need to know.
No, I'm just saying that because people. I mean, some people. I don't know if
you virgin. Exactly.
Because they've been like telling me that I should not have done what I did.
What, in the comment section thing?
Mm-hmm.
Who said that?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. I think I know who it is. That detractor.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
there's behind the scenes drama, folks.
I know David is joking, like he's doing it because but the comments are like it's different.
Yeah, well, because they don't know me.
Yeah.
They're trying to be mean about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then I know David is joking, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the comments are out of line.
For people who don't know, I tweeted this. I was talking to her about how the comments section on my Deadpool video, the game review, got really, really toxic in the past couple of weeks because I feel like we started getting like closer to the release of the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
man, I can't wait for the hits on my I hated Deadpool, the first movie video to go up again.
Yeah, good for you. But yeah, I started to get a lot more traffic on that video, and a lot of people just don't even want to hear it, like anything I have to say in that. So they just hop in there and then just immediately go into insulting me, like just saying really mean shit. And I was like telling Sadie about it. It's just like a thing the other day, and she was like, "How dare they?" And she like
no, because I don't. This is what I don't get. Okay, you go to a YouTuber's account. You don't know the person. You watch their videos. You don't even know a single thing about them. You just don't like their opinion because it differs from yours, and then you talk shit about that person. I mean, what was that?
It makes them feel better about themselves.
Exactly. I mean, I follow YouTubers. I watch videos of contents of other people, but if one video that I watch that they're talking about something I love and their opinion differs from mine, I would not call them names, or I wouldn't say
that's called being an
things
adult,
about them.
which is an entirely foreign concept for people who leave YouTube comments.
Being an adult, what's that? Yeah.
That sounds like something for virgins.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, she had to go in there.
You want to talk about really toxic YouTube comments on your videos? Is it as bad as that Spider-Man reaction video?
Not that bad. Because that was literally the only thing anyone would talk about. No one said anything about the actual content of the video. They were just talking about how much they hated you.
I gotta say, how much I've rustled people's jimmies with that kind of amuses me.
It annoys and amuses you.
It kind of annoys me when they get as vitriolic as they do, but like when I distance myself from that a little bit, I find it funny how much I've angered them.
By not being excited for a Spider-Man video game, you've personally insulted billions of people.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you not be excited, you son of a bitch. I'll find out where you live.
Be tired.
How dare you
sarcastic.
Make jokes on a channel that makes jokes. You
even though
chode.
Bad jokes.
Oh man. Wow, this is a 2-hour podcast. You could tell we were having fun with it. You know what? Everyone deserved it because we went on hiatus for a little while because I was either busy with work or depressed or just wanted to spend time with Sadie and kind of blew you off, and I'm sorry.
Ow. Sorry.
Virgin. Only a virgin would blow their friends off to have time with their girlfriend. Unlike the Chads.
The Chads who don't hang out with girls and just do podcasts all day.
They only hang out with the boys.
So they're the
straightest guys in the world.
All I do is hang out with shirtless, muscular men and work out and maybe oil each other up because I'm straight, not like you homo.
These have gone sideways.
Yeah, it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was saying the other day, this is a related note to this, that there was this guy at my college who kept just sort of bringing up making gay jokes and bringing up gay all the time, and like, oh look, Neil Patrick Harris is gay. How could he be kissing that girl in this movie? And
it's almost like he's an actor or something.
My only response to that is, people who bring up the gay thing all the time, it kind of reeks of repressed homosexuality. Like they're sort of like homophobic and they don't like gay, but then they feel that themselves, so they project it on everyone else instead.
Yeah. Did you tell him that?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
He didn't respond.
You got him! You killed him! I'm proud of you, son.
Mm-hmm. So, also, speaking of other things that happened, I was saying that somebody should make a parody account of Mike Pence and make his anti-gay thing as homoerotic as possible.
Like
I
super
really
gay
need to
Mike Pence.
whip the gayness out of those bad boys right now.
I'm gonna shock them as straight as my dick.
Exactly.
Like make the was it conversion therapy or whatever?
As gay as
make
possible.
it as like kinky and like homoerotic as possible.
Like my favorite joke about that was that I watched like a big like YouTube documentary about the conversion therapy thing, and one of the things that they did to as a part of the conversion therapy was they did theater. We're gonna theater the gay out of you.
Theater is like the gayest thing you could possibly be doing.
Exactly.
Oh.
And that was what I found so amusing about it, is that like, yeah, we're gonna go out in the forest alone with a bunch of guys, and we're gonna do theater.
We're gonna perform stage plays because we're straight as an arrow.
Oh, I'm straight. I just have some problems that involving liking dicks. Like that's like some of the things that people would say on that, and it's just kind of unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah, that's great. Whoops, gonna have to edit that part out.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you're editing this.
So that's my thought of the day, is that homophobia is secretly very homoerotic. Do you not agree with me?
I don't know. You stumped us both.
Because like if you're secure in your own masculinity or femininity or whatever, you shouldn't really care what anybody else is doing with their genitalia, unless you have some weird religious thing. And a lot of cases, a lot of those people are gay. See the Catholic Church. So what I'm saying is that people who don't like those people kind of have their own issues, and they're just projecting it on everybody else.
I'm wearing a Spider-Man costume right now because I was going to take some cosplay pictures
that,
earlier,
maybe.
but then the sun went down, so it's like, why am I even wearing this Spider-Man costume? I look like an idiot.
Well, you wore KKK night to a lot of the couch potatoes.
Oh man, I should wear my Moon Knight costume one day and my Spider-Man costume a different day for Comic-Con.
Yes, do it.
Yeah. Also, making Sadie's costume is going to be way easier since I have the pattern already for the Moon Knight.
Oh my god, you're really doing it.
Yeah.
I can just like go with you wearing normal clothes.
But that's boring.
No, that's for virgins. Only virgins wear normal clothes outside.
Not like us cool Chads wearing all these tights in public that make it easy to see the outline of our dicks. Sewing is masculine. I spend all day at a sewing machine just making clothes because, like, women love me.
I get laid on the daily because I sit in front of my mom's sewing machine for hours.
This was a good day.
So you're really gonna let me wear a costume?
Yeah, I mean it's not like a revealing costume, unless you want to wear a revealing costume, in which case I'll make you that too.
No.
Just wear whatever you like. It's Comic-Con. You could show up there just like dressed up as Mike Pence.
Hey, remember a couple of years ago when Pride was on the same weekend as
oh yeah,
Comic-Con?
Comic-Con and Pride Rally were on the same weekend, so the city was just filled with like cross-dressers and like people wearing rainbow flags
outfits
and people in costumes. Like the city must have looked like a freak show. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's either gay or a superhero or a gay superhero.
There was a lot of crossover between the two.
Yeah, it was awesome. A lot of really fat, hairy guys dressed as Wonder Woman.
That's amazing, considering that the guy who created Wonder Woman was really super kinky.
Oh yeah, didn't he have like 2 wives?
Yeah, he was in. Okay, so the story behind Wonder Woman is that the Professor Marston, the guy who created Woman, was a professor of psychology. He was also polyamorous, and presumably no, he was straight. He was just polyamorous. So he had his wife, who was also a psychologist, but one of their students he also fell in love with, and they were in a polyamorous three-way relationship. And turns out his wife, who was a psychologist, was also bisexual. So when he died, they got together as a lesbian couple and raised his son or his daughter or whatever.
That's rad.
He was a weirdo. He was also like super into like bondage and really kinky shit. That's why
Wonder Woman
that's
has
why
a
Wonder
whip.
Woman has the lasso of truth.
It's you tie up people and then they'll tell you truth.
He liked to be tied up, so that's why he wrote that.
It's fucking
in his kids comic book.
Man,
that's
rad. Every time I think about bondage now, I remember the movie Gerald's Game. And it's a bad memory. Yeah! Okay, so Sadie made me watch Gerald's Game. And
have you seen it, David?
No.
Do you know what happens in it?
I looked at the Wikipedia page, yes.
The whole plot?
More
it
or
was
less.
written by
Stephen King.
Yeah.
So that is not a good movie to eat chicken wings while you're watching it. Because there's something that happens near the end that's really gory.
I know what it is.
Lot of red meat and bone, like really rough to look at. And I'm sitting there biting down on these chicken wings, and I see something happen in the movie, and I go, I guess I'm done with dinner.
Mm-hmm.
She loves it. She adores how...
Okay.
The only other time I cringed that bad was when we watched the movie Teeth.
I saw that movie on Netflix the other day, and I thought about watching it in the lobby of the dorm, and I decided, maybe not.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Because, boy, is there some stuff in there.
I watched The Witch in the lobby of my dorm, so...
Oh, cool. I haven't seen that yet.
It's got some bad parts to it. Like when the naked witch lady mashes up the baby into like an ointment and then rubs it on herself.
Wait, what?
That's a spoiler.
That happens. That's like in the opening scene of The Witch.
Wow!
First 10 minutes.
What?
Wow!
Jeez.
Sadie, we should watch that one. I know you love those kinds of movies.
It's actually a good movie. You should watch it.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting her to be so on board. I was expecting, like arguing. I was expecting, no, I don't like scary things. And, she'd do that voice that she does. But she was just
so
like,
let
okay.
me get this straight.
Mimicking me?
No.
Let me get this straight. You don't like scary things, but you made Xavier watch Teeth and Gerald's Game.
Okay. Oh, scary for me, okay, horror or scary for me are like ghosts and paranormal and shit.
Okay.
Cause
not like blood and gore.
no, I can take that. I can watch it, but moving dolls. No, I can't take that.
Yeah.
My cousin Anna made me watch that horror movie. The one with the clown.
It.
Yeah, and at the middle of it, I left and I cried.
Oh.
Hey, you want to watch The Exorcist sometime?
Yeah, let's. No! Oh my God! Yeah, that would be perfect.
I want to watch that. Because I've never seen it. I will agree with you.
I'm bored with this. I hate you.
Because my aunt who grew up in an Irish-Italian family in the 1960s in rural Colorado, watched that as a kid and saying as a Catholic as being raised as a Catholic, that movie was terrifying. So I get that some people would find that terrifying, but I kind of want to see it because it's
good.
Classic
it's
and all that.
It's a really solid film. It holds up.
Have you seen it?
I saw it again. I've seen it before, but I saw it again recently because I wanted to rewatch it before watching the TV show, which is technically a sequel. Couch Potatoes. Sure, why not? The TV show is a sequel more or less. Like
So it's The Exorcist 2 with James Earl Jones.
No. Oh, God, no. God, no. No!
Okay, so,
Anyway, the TV show, the first season is kind of like a canonical sequel to the movie, and then the second season of that Exorcist show is just like, alright, let's go do other Exorcist stuff. And it's not as interesting then.
But
the movie is fantastic, and it holds up, like, amazingly well.
Okay, so here's the list of couch potatoes that we have to record this summer, despite the fact that I have a bunch yet to edit.
Can we record an episode of Couch Potatoes with Sadie?
If she's in the vicinity, sure.
She'll be in town from, what is it, the 4th through the 18th next month?
Of June?
Yeah.
Why not?
Will you be in for that? You could come over one evening and watch a movie with us.
So we have 2 lists of couch potatoes
this
that
is
we
going
have
to be
do.
awesome. I would love to have her on the show.
We have a double feature of Pacific Rim and Pacific Rim 2.
Yay!
And then The Exorcist.
Yeah!
Exorcist? No.
Okay, so... Hey, remember when Pacific Rim 2 came out like 2 months ago and nobody cared?
Nobody cared at all.
So I kind of want to take that as an opportunity to go back to the first one and be like...
Look how good this was.
Why is that one so good?
With this, yeah, because like it's kind of like baffling.
Counterpoint being the sequel.
How awesome Pacific Rim 1 was, and then you see the second one, like the trailer alone, and like then, I would immediately kind of shut out the idea of seeing it, but then the word of mouth after people came out of it, I was like, wow, that's bad.
It's even more Power Rangers-esque than the first one.
Is it true that Charlie Day is the villain?
He's a villain.
That's fucking stupid! Charlie Day should be the main character! He's the hero!
But he's not
I fucking love Charlie Day so much!
But Charlie Day isn't as swole as the guy from the first movie or
I just
John
want to give
Boyega
Charlie Day a hug and tell him thank you for all the things he's done for me over the years.
But Charlie Day is not swole, so he can't be the lead of an action movie.
Yeah, well, tell that to Kevin James.
What?
Kevin James is the star of action movies.
Paul Blart Mall Cop is not an action movie.
Paul Blart Mall Cop is basically the sequel to Arnold Schwarzenegger's Commando.
It's a national embarrassment.
America had to personally apologize to the rest of the globe for that movie's existence.
Especially for Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
They had to issue a formal apology email to like, what, 6 billion people? We're so sorry about Kevin James. We're trying our best, but we just can't.
Hey, did you hear
stop
that Kevin James' sitcom got canceled?
Oh no! Who would have guessed?
Oh no!
Was it really like? Was it like really conservative though? Because then it'll get uncanceled by whiny people.
No.
Oh. Was it really liberal though? Because then it'll get uncanceled by whiny people.
No.
Okay.
Kevin James, he doesn't have opinions.
His opinion is that Adam Sandler is paying all of his mortgage.
All of his mortgages.
His several mortgages for his
because
dozens of properties.
Of course Kevin James has more than one house.
Kevin James doesn't own a house, he just owns a restaurant chain and he just lives there.
He owns Denny's.
Kevin James just sleeps in 6 or 7 different Denny's in Los Angeles.
I could see that happening.
Oh man, I could totally see like a BuzzFeed article talking about this that's like doesn't have a hint of irony about it.
And they're talking about the affordable housing crisis in Los Angeles through the lens of Kevin James.
This needs to be animated in some capacity. Come on, guys.
I mean, come on. Nobody's going to be listening at this point.
Oh, everyone's assuredly shut off. Podcast. We should probably end it right about now. This is a good high note to end on.
It's canon that Kevin James lives in a Denny's.
Several Denny's.
Yeah, he's got
he has one for every day of the week. No. Okay, he has 6 of them, and then on the 7th day, he usually has a sleepover with his best friend Adam.
Yeah.
Homie,
Bye!
I pronounce you Chuck and Larry is actually a cry for help because Kevin James is woefully in love with Adam Sandler but doesn't know how to get the point across without writing a sitcom about gay panic.
That is canon, and it is time to end.
All right, bye everyone. We love you.